Hey guys, I've Dave here assisting me today for a change, and ironically I didn't really need much help because I have no whiteboard or such. Just going to hit on one or two little points that went over the last few days, one or two questions that people came in on. Been talking a lot about weight versus waste. I had a lot of questions with a couple of people about this, as in, should I be losing weight or should I be losing a waist measurement? In here we do regularly track kind of both measurements, the weight and the waist. For people who are a little overweight, when you start to lose weight, you should lose both. Ideally, not everyone is the same. We have seen a few times, it doesn't often happen, that some people will lose their waist measurement, as in their dimensions are going to change, but they're keeping a similar weight. What is happening there is muscle weighs a little bit more than fat. And if you're actually not that heavy, when you start to tone up, while you're losing fat, you're also gaining muscle at a fairly similar rate, which is helping you keep the same weight on the scale. But your measurements should be quite different. Like one of the guys who came in here recently, actually, like he asked me the question, like he was a bit concerned he hadn't been losing weight. And I went back over his logs, went back over his measurements. In the first 2 weeks, he lost a pound, he lost 3 centimeters. That's pretty good. That's nice. Like, consistent change is the big thing you're looking for. Now in the next 2-3 weeks, he actually didn't lose any weight, but he lost another 2 centimeters. And he kind of continued that trend for the next couple of weeks. And he was sending me a message that I'm a bit concerned because I haven't lost any weight, but I can see the difference in the photos, I can feel the difference in my shirt, I can feel the difference in my pants. And that's fantastic. Weight is a number. It's a number on a scale. People get a little bit obsessed with it from time to time. What's more important is, how do you look in your clothes? One of the best ways of seeing that is a photograph. And even measurements can be really deceptive. I remember last year we had a great girl in here training very regularly. We had measurements going back over the months. Her measurements didn't actually change much, but because the tone of her muscles got firmer, different areas, and it made her look quite different in a very positive way. Depends on the person, but you can't really focus on one variable is the real problem. So it's just a case of finding out what is the best variable for you. Oh, Tom's just after walking in. Hello, Tom. So the main thing is, what we want to do is just try to find 1 or 2 things to track. Like to track the weight, like to track 1 or 2 waist measurements. To be honest, for ladies, hip measurements are a little better. People can get bloated at certain times of the month, and the waist measurement can be a little skewy. So it's a case of finding the things that we need to monitor for you and keeping a look on. The second thing is, a couple of people asked me about, I'm on 1,200 calories. Why am I losing weight? We touched on this last week when we were talking about calorie averages. So the first thing I'm going to say is, for the large majority of people, ladies I'm talking about specifically here, but it's going to be appropriate for them. For the large majority of people who say they're on 1,200 calories and are not losing weight, I'm sorry, you're wrong. I apologise, and I don't like offending people, but the simple fact of the matter is, there's very few people who are going to maintain a heavy weight on such a low calorie intake. It's not your fault. It's just a case of how are you logging, how are you measuring these things. To give you an idea for myself now, I don't want to say I'm doing a transformation. I have been watching my diet in the last couple of months, and I measure, I call it would be fairly accurately, but I wouldn't go so far as to say it's really meticulously. So to give you an example, when I have my breakfast in the morning, if I have 2 slices of toast and I put butter on that toast, I take the slice of toast, I put it on the weighing scale, I weigh it. I zero it, and then I put the butter on, and I weigh the butter. That's how I know how much butter is on my toast. If you're looking at it any other way, you're eyeballing it, and you could be out dramatically. You'd be shocked. The little things that add up, like, is there olive oil you're cooking your chicken in? Is there mayonnaise in your sandwich? I made a sandwich a couple of weeks back, and I had the calories in my day, and I was like, I'm going to have myself a very nice bacon, chicken, and mayonnaise sandwich. That damn sandwich was about 700 bloody calories. There was probably about 300 calories from mayonnaise alone. And now I was fully aware of what I was doing, but it shocked even me. I am not easily shocked. I have in the past ate 3 or 4 tubs of Ben and Jerry's in one day. So, you know, it's a case of there's something somewhere which is catching you out, which is too many calories. Or the other problem that happens, as we discussed last week, is maybe you're eating perfectly Monday to Friday, and you're going a bit off the rails on the Saturday and the Sunday. And we discussed this as well. How many calories should you be eating? It's a tough question, but the really important thing is we set a baseline and we stick to that for a week or 2 or 3. And then you'll know if you're eating 1,200 calories a day for 3 weeks and you're losing weight, then that's a good calorie intake for you to lose weight on. If you're not, we need to investigate further, change it a little. But if you don't have some consistency, it's really, really, really hard to get your diet nailed down. Which is one of the reasons why you'll see a lot of fitness professionals and bodybuilders who eat the same food every day. It's not because they're bored or unimaginative. It's because, well, they probably are bored. Don't blame them for that, but don't send them. It's because it's about control. If you're eating different food every single day, and you have to weigh that every single time you eat, you know, it's different. Pro guys are eating out of Tupperware all the time. It's the only way they can have that full control. And you don't need to go that far, but I'll tell you something, if you do it for a week or 2, you'll have an entirely new appreciation for how much calories is in your food. So, it's hard to say where to go with that, but if you're not sure, don't be afraid. Anyone in here, we do have 1 or 2 little examples to give people an idea of what a 1,200 calorie day would look like. For guys who want to lose weight, I would usually say around 1,800 calories. Both these things vary wildly, depends on where you're starting from. I don't know what you look like on the other side of the internet right now, so to say that I'm going to give you this plan, this is what you're going to do, that's a bad idea. But to have some guidelines, you need to try it for 2 or 3 weeks. You need to see how it works. It's self-experimentation, and then figure out where you're at. Okay? Anyone has any questions or comments, don't be afraid to put them down below the video. We'll try to get back to them. We'll try to talk to them in the future as well. And that's us for today. You can press the magic button there, Dave.